Oh, go right ahead. Seat's free. No, I don't think so. No, couldn't possibly. Charming thing like you, I'm sure I'd remember if I'd ever met you before. Are you, though? Are you sure you've seen me before? Maybe I just have one of those faces. The kind that always looks familiar. Or maybe I just look like some old movie actress. One your grandfather would tell you he had a crush on when he was a little boy. Hmm? Ah, there you are. Now you know why I look familiar. Yes, I do look like her, don't I? I suppose I get a lot of that. But then, I couldn't possibly be her, could I? She must be... Well, she would be over 100 years old. Wouldn't she? And I like to flatter myself that I don't look a day over 90. So do me a favor and don't say anything more of it. You wouldn't want to ruin an old girl's self-image now, would you? Why, thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I think I like you. You seem very nice and a bit shy, which makes it all much nicer that you're so patient with me as I tease you a little bit. You've been a good sport. I like a good sport. So, tell me, sport, what brings you in here tonight? I haven't seen you around before. Did you come in for a, bite? Oh, of course you are. Well, a drink or a bite. I suppose they're all the same in a place like this, aren't they? Well, in a place like this, in a place like a bite bar. My dear, you really are green, aren't you? I knew I hadn't seen you here before, but I didn't imagine you were entirely new to this sort of thing. So, I take it you're not looking for someone to, nibble off of, Now that's all right. I don't mind spending a bit of time talking to you. You are charming. I am going to have to ask you to vacate the chair, though, if someone new comes in. It's nothing personal, darling. I just wouldn't want a potential customer to think I'm unavailable. You understand, don't you? Oh. Oh, or perhaps you don't. Darling, I'm a neck worker. A neck worker? Darling, where's your sire? Didn't they tell you anything about this? You have no sire. Oh. Oh, you're... you're human. I'm so sorry. You know what? We should have name tags here. Hello, I'm a biter. Or, hello, I'm a blood bag. Oh, that, well, you're right. I do look a lot like that old movie actress, so I just, kind of put on the voice, you know? Sells it a little bit, and, you can frankly charge a little bit more if you can do something like that. For vampires of a certain age, it brings back a sense of nostalgia, you know? I mean, anybody over 80 around here, which is basically all of them. I kind of like to think of myself as a one-woman theme restaurant, you know? Not for nothing, you should try it. I mean, there's got to be somebody you look like throughout time, somewhere. And frankly, if not, just wear a costume. That's enough for some of them. That's how I got the idea to do this, actually. I had an old customer who used to want to reminisce about his younger days and when he first got, turned. And he would pay me extra to wear Edwardian dress. I kind of liked it. Loved the corsets. I know they have a horrible reputation, but if you get one that's fitted to you, no worse to wear than a belt or a bra. I'm sorry, that's completely off the subject. So anyway, welcome to the scene. Oh, wait. I have made a huge assumption here, and I'm sorry. Are you a networker too, or are you just, a networker? Oh, that's right. You didn't know that's what started this whole realization that you are not. Okay. All right. Well, you know that vampires have to eat, and you know what they eat. Places like these, the sanguinarians and the blood donors come to meet. Sometimes people who are hungry are in a bit more of a rush, and they can't afford the time it takes to meet someone they're compatible with and someone who's willing. And then either, head out to the alley or into their car or into one of the motels here that don't mind a few blood splatters. Well, no, it doesn't always happen, but it happens regularly. You don't know anything about this, huh? Have you never... Okay. Hey, well, anyway. Sometimes one of the biters just needs something quick and easy. And here I am. Quick and easy. Convenience food. It's not just that, though. I mean, there's sort of a bond that you feel when you're being bitten, when they're biting you. And a lot of the hungry ones don't want to deal with that. I mean, a lot of the juice boxes here know the score, but some of them secretly nurture a hope that it'll turn into something more. Or not so secretly nurture a hope. There's actually an old saying about networkers. They don't pay you for the meal, they pay you to go away afterwards. It's not a flattering way to phrase it, but it's also not untrue. I don't mind. I think there's a certain pragmatism about it. And also, I respect the biter who doesn't want a relationship and doesn't want to lead anybody on. Some of them are, frankly, kind of sad stories. It's nice to be able to provide something that they need. Well, okay, like, take Gustav over there. Tall one in the gray shirt. He just lost his third thrall, a man he's been with for over 50 years. He begged his thrall to let him turn him. But his thrall believed that life is precious because it's limited, and that when people are turned, they lose their souls. Could you imagine being with someone for over 50 years, loving them for that long, and then finding out that they do not want to spend eternity with you? Or maybe that they want to, but not at the expense of their soul. He's dealing with not only the heartache of losing someone he loved, but also the rejection. And okay, then there is the buxom woman over there. Now, a few centuries ago, when she was turned, that woman had the figure of a goddess she was absolutely desired. Then came flappers. Women got skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. And she will never be any thinner than she is. Her face will never be anything other than that heart-shaped smiling thing. Her looks fell out of fashion for a long time, and she was no longer the faded beauty that she had once been. Her ego took a hit when it became a little harder to get willing donors. So many people want to be bitten, but they really want to be bitten by what they perceive as beautiful. Once Vampira came along, oh boy. Real vampires with real bodies had real problems getting someone to donate to them. It's heartbreaking. I've been with her a few times. I try to tell her how hot she is, but I think she thinks I'm just being a girl's girl. I tried to tell her I'm bisexual, but I think that she confused it with the word unisex and didn't understand why I was bringing up gender-neutral bathrooms in this conversation. I don't know. Maybe I'm asking a lot for a woman who still thinks the word Mrs. is spelled with an F. Oh, shit. It's Robert the Ghoul. A ghoul. Really? You don't know? Okay, well. Basic terminology. You know that there are vampires, and there are humans that give their blood to the vampires. When you give your blood, you can be a little enthralled, but that's different than being a thrall. If you are a thrall, you are actually attached in a relationship with that person, that vampire, and if you are enthralled, it's sort of temporary. It's an effect of the bite. There are also people who are in different kinds of relationships with the vampire. They give their blood, but they also get blood from the vampire. It could give them some of the powers of a vampire in smaller degrees, like enhanced strength, enhanced senses. They tend to not age as much as regular humans, and they heal super fast. But after a long while or a short while, most of them will become batshit crazy. And until they do, oh my god, they are so obnoxiously superior. I have yet to meet the single ghoul who doesn't lord it over all the other blood bags. Oh, well, the vampires get something out of it because they get someone who is a loyal servant. Someone who can do things for them during the day, you know? Run errands, protect their lairs while they sleep. Donate blood, of course. I mean, they could pay servants for all of that stuff, but some people like the relationship. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. One of my regulars just got here. Actually, you don't have to say yes to this, but you clearly came in here to, meet someone, and, she tends to have a big appetite. So, if you would like, I wouldn't mind if you joined us. And I'm sure she would not mind either. She pays well, and she always gets a room at the Sanguinarums where they have different juices and cookies in every room for the blood dolls. Yeah? Are you sure? All right, then. In that case, let me introduce you. Come on. Hey there, cupcakes. Thank you all so very much for joining me for a little bit more of a lore dump at the Biter Bar. I think it's safe to say that there will be more Vampire 101 lessons. Who knows? Maybe we'll go over some neck etiquette. I also think I would like to go into a little bit more detail about some of those hotels and motels that cater to sanguinarians. So stick around. I expect those will be out eventually. Although, that said, When we start talking about motels and hotels, I might have to, that might have to be spicy content on my Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, I have so many new members to thank. There is Human Torch, Piper Chapman, Nen, VTF, Sam Daniels, Zero Lord, and Paul L. Huggins. Thank you all so very much for joining me. And for my YouTube memberships, I have my Skating Wolfie. Thank you very much, Wolfie. And of course, special thank you to my Baker and Pound Cake tier members. There is Angela, Brian Antonio, Flaws, Lucid Sloth, Noah Benner, Eerie Ghost, Nikki, Loot Curator, Lemonic Cultist, Confused but Still Here, Bowman, Alton Good Bottle, Disbanded Crow, Techo, Gunner's Mage, Mushan Gaming, Tomas Rogers, Dreamy Smitten Wolfie, Aw, Nosti, Barry Wilburn, Esteed, SLE Photo, Harper Evolution, Justin, Wolf9004, Malicilo, Army Guy 007, Mr. Fabulous, Lou, Bunny, Tiny the Taxman, Meryl, Mr. Ruggles, Anin, Darth Mythis, Fred Death 48, Always Able, Vagar, Moon, Olbean UK, Kulua Bear, The Swaggy Llama, Artlo, Pierce Tailish, and Christian Claypaw. These are a few of my favorite things. Oh, no, not things. People. My favorite people. Sorry. Okay, it has also been a hell of a week for me. I've been just a little ball of chaos, a very tall ball of chaos. But I expect it will get better next week. We'll see. I'm not through the week yet. It's not done yet. So I appreciate those of you who are bearing with me as I have been, like, I was late on my Spices and Patreon. I'm sorry about that. And missed a day here again in YouTube. So thank you very much for your patience on that. I will get my shit together soon. It's these things happen sometimes when you work every day, almost every day. Yeah, pretty much every day. It doesn't really feel like it's every day because it also doesn't really feel like work most of the time. So it's hard to complain. And this is not a complaint, but it does mean that sometimes I am going to drop the ball. And this week has been one of those times, 2 of those times, 3 of those times, something like that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so very much. You're so good to me. I will be eternally grateful to all of you. And I hope you will all be as good to yourselves as you are to me. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Provided I don't drop the ball again. But I'm pretty sure I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.